It's almost time for vacation season, and you want to travel confidently using English on your flight. An important part of this is knowing what things are called, people's roles, and how to use these words in sentences. You also want to understand the announcements that you hear. I'm your English teacher, Chris. Today we are talking about how to travel confidently with airplane vocabulary. First off, let's learn some common vocabulary related to things and people on the airplane. Our first word is pilot. A pilot is a person who flies the plane. Flights have at least two pilots. Our next word is cockpit. This is the place at the front of the plane where the pilots fly the plane. Next, we have cabin. The cabin is where you and the other passengers sit during the flight. The woman you see in this photo is a flight attendant. Flight attendants are the people who help us get seated, serve us food and drinks, and keep us safe during the flight. Flight attendants work as a team called the cabin crew. In the center of the cabin is the aisle. The aisle is the pathway between seats where passengers and flight attendants walk to move around the cabin. Let's talk about seats. Aisle seats are any seats that are next to the aisle. Window seats are next to the airplane's windows. You can get a nice view if you have a window seat. And middle seats are the seats between the window and aisle seats. Each line of seats across the plane is called a row. On this plane, each row has 5 seats. Let's talk about safety. First, we have emergency exit. This is a door or window on the airplane used to leave the plane quickly in an emergency. Our next safety-related word is seatbelt. A seatbelt is a safety belt worn by passengers to secure themselves during takeoff, landing, and when there is turbulence. A tray table is a small table attached to the back of the seat in front of you for eating or placing items like a book or laptop. In this picture, the tray table is up, and in this picture, the tray table is down. Our next word is overhead bin. This is a space above the passenger seats for storing carry-on luggage. Above your seats, you'll have something that looks like this. The button with the person on it is the call button. You use this to call a flight attendant to come to your seat if you need help with something. You also have a reading light in case you want to read or just need more light. Push the button with a light bulb on it to turn it on and off. And this is your air vent. If you're warm or just want more air, turn this to open it. Our last word is lavatory. This is what they call the bathroom on the plane. If the little sign below the word lavatory says occupied, that means someone is using the lavatory and you need to wait. Now you know some key in-flight vocabulary. Let's practice using these words in sentences. Listen and repeat each sentence or question. Our first sentence is helpful if you don't know where your seat is. You can ask the flight attendant, "Can you tell me where my seat is, please?" Repeat, "Can you tell me where my seat is, please?" Repeat, "I want to put my bag in the overhead bin." Repeat, "If you need the flight attendant, push the call button." I prefer a window seat so I can enjoy the view. You can put your computer on the tray table. I need to wait. The lavatory is occupied. Great job. Now let's discuss some common announcements you might hear during a flight. Our first one is, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Flight 173 to Boston. This is an announcement welcoming everyone on the plane. Our next announcement is, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. These are instructions to wear your seatbelt, usually during takeoff, landing, and when there is turbulence. At the beginning of the flight, they review emergency procedures. You'll probably hear them say this: in the event of an emergency, oxygen masks will drop from the panel above your seat. Please secure your own mask before assisting others. These are basic instructions on how to use oxygen masks in case of an emergency. Another announcement that you'll hear at the beginning of your flight is, if you need to use the lavatory, they are located at the front and rear of the cabin. They will give you a general idea of where the lavatories are. Next, we'll be cruising at an altitude of 30,000 feet and expect to arrive at our destination on time. The pilot often announces information about the flight, including how high the plane is flying and whether you'll land on time. Our next announcement is, the cabin crew will now be coming through the cabin for beverage and snack service. This means the flight attendants will soon be serving food and drinks. On most flights between U.S. cities, the airlines only offer a small snack and a drink. On night flights, you'll likely hear them say, we'll be dimming the cabin lights for your comfort. Individual reading lights are located above your seat. They often turn down the lights so that people can sleep on evening flights. Before landing, you'll hear them say, we'll be landing shortly. Please ensure all electronic devices are switched off and stowed. This means they want you to turn off your electronics and put larger items like laptops away. Stowed means put away. And finally, you'll hear them say, thank you for choosing our airline. We hope you had a pleasant flight with us. That's the goodbye message from the cabin crew. Congratulations! If you've learned this vocabulary, then you're ready for your flight. There's a link to a free PDF in the description. What about you? Do you have a question about English? Tell me about it in the comments. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.